If you thought about doing something difficult for your body, for the mind, and for the spirit, this is the 10 most difficult Caminos de Santiago you can encounter and change your life. Finisterre. From Santiago to Cap Finisterre, which is thought to be the edge of the world, there is a special path known as Camino Finisterre. This is the sole route that departs from Santiago de Compostela and leads travelers west to Galician's breathtaking Atlantic coast. The Camino Finisterre is a 90-kilometer route, meaning 3 or 4 day trip that explores Galician untamed landscapes and Celtic heritage. There was a particular mystery about this place, and it is until today. Number 9. Somewhere in the middle of the ocean, the most demanding short pilgrimage is waiting for you. Not all of the Caminos lead to Santiago, as the previous one proves. That's why the volcanic Camino of Gran Canaria Way is on our list. 3 days of 66 kilometers of important hikes can leave you dizzy, especially when climbing 1,700-meter peak of sacred Gran Canaria Mountains. When crossing desert-like fields and coming down the mountain, you will have to be equipped in some extra water. Although it is a difficult hike, especially for pilgrims, you can expect exciting compensation as path passes by not only the whole island, but also 2 important worship places of St. James. 8. Camino de Invierno. It is a first of the middle-length ways on our list, as it takes 15 days and 267 kilometers to walk. The Camino de Invierno, sometimes known as the Winter Way, was a route used by travelers on the Camino Frances during the Middle Ages to escape the Ocebreiro Mountains. Today it provides a great off-the-beaten path option for travelers looking for some peace and quiet. Along the stunning natural scenery, the road is also rich in history, with numerous Romanesque chapels and significant landmarks lining on the ways. Camino Portuguese from Porto. The second most popular and widely opted Camino is Camino Portuguese, that starts in Porto. But don't get misled by the colorful UNESCO heritage city, as that walk that you just about to undertake is 260 kilometers and around 14 days. Not an easy task. Over the course of 14 days, you will stay in the picturesque small cities and visit the most charming towns and villages from the coast to the mountains. Number 6. Camino Primitivo. The 320 kilometers Camino Primitivo begins in the opulent city of Oviedo in the Asturias region that leads travelers on a challenging journey. Although it's one of the hardest due to its hilly terrain, the gorgeous mountains view, incredibly quiet tracks, and lonely tiny villages make it one of the most remarkable. The Camino Primitivo path is thought to be the earliest Camino pilgrimage, hence its name, which means original, even though the Camino Frances is the most well-known of the Camino de Santiago routes. Veteran Camino travelers sometimes choose the Camino Primitivo because of the harshness, scenery, and beautiful remoteness of the path. And if you're just about to go for Camino de Santiago, you might consider subscribing to this channel and pressing this notification bell, which will inform you about all new videos. So far there's more than 40 videos explaining you how to start and how to finish and what to do in between the Camino de Santiago. Doesn't matter if it's French, Portuguese or North Sea, because we did some of them. And if you like hiking, backpacking and all those things, this is a good channel for you, because we've traveled all over the world to see the most exciting places, and we're just in India and we're gonna go to Japan and many other places. So subscribe, and if you feel generous, you can also invite me for Camino Coffee. Buy me a coffee, link just down in the description. Okay, are we ready for the next point? Let's go. Number 5. This is the first of the long-distance walk on our lists. If walking from Porto was already a challenge, imagine doing the Camino Portuguese from Lisbon. It takes 650 kilometers from Lisbon to Santiago de Compostela. This is 28 to 30 days, which 15 or 16 are traveling from Lisbon to Porto and another 2 weeks from Porto to Santiago. The south of Portugal is referred as one of the hottest places in Europe, so undertaking that journey has to be well thought, not only logistically but rather physically, as 28 days of constant walk can make anyone overworked. Of all of the Camino de Santiago routes, the Camino Francés, sometimes known as the French way, is the most well known. It takes more than 800 kilometers passing various high peaks like Pyrenees that sometimes are unapproachable due to the bad weather and high winds. But the difficulty is not only about the high peaks but also kilometers of unprotected land called La Meseta, the nightmare of every pilgrim where it's hard to get any shade and protect from the sun, and the landscapes never changes, giving you the impression that you will never get to the next stage. By walking Camino Francés is a life-changing experience, so don't get discouraged.
You will never get to the next stage.
Camino del Norte. Camino del Norte, often known as the Northern Way, is the Camino Santiago path that takes travelers from the Basque Country via Cantabria, Asturias, before continuing on the Camino de Santiago de Compostela in Galicia. You can swim at the gorgeous sandy beaches along the coastal Camino, explore intriguing cities and fishing villages, but it all comes at cost. 850 kilometers in more than 35 days of walking. Only the first stage is called the leg breaker, so imagine how demanding the Camino could be, especially for the first 6 days crossing the hilly Basque country. When walking long distances, you need many breaks, and the path still doesn't provide many of the shops or bars, so take some extra food with you just in case. Number 2. Via de Lana, the Wool Way. One of the longest caminos in Spain, 1,200 kilometers, which could take more than 50 days to finish. There are about 700 kilometers between starting point Alicante, just on the seaside, and Burgos, an additional 500 kilometers if you continue to the Camino Francés to Santiago de Compostela. La Ruta de la Lana, or the wool route, is mostly based on the side roads that lead shepherds and frequently enormous flocks as they made their way to drier conditions nearer the beach during the winter or higher mountain fields during the summer. As the route is less traveled, it has less amount of accommodation and facilities, which makes the stages longer. So it is good to start early before it becomes too hot. Only for the well-prepared pilgrims. And number 1. The Silver Path, also known as the Via de Plata, is thought to be the most difficult Camino de Santiago route in Spain. Only approximately 3% of pilgrims using the Via de Plata arrive to Santiago de Compostela, making it the least traveled route. The biggest obstacle is the route's length at almost 1,300 kilometers. Two other things that make them more challenging are the lengthy stages of walking with few facilities in between and extremely hot summer months. 4 Spanish areas are traversed by the routes: Andalusia, Extremadura, Castilla y León, and Galicia. The road provides a wonderful blend of stunning rural scenery, significant Roman remains, and magnificent medieval cities and towns. Only for the brave, well-prepared pilgrims, uncrossable in summer season. And as I told you before, now I'm gonna retain the breath until you subscribe and press the notification bell and comment down below which is the Camino that you would like to go and which is the Camino that is most difficult for you. So, until you press this subscribe button, I will go.